Okay, so for today with the cooking demo and learning about meat and seafood, I decided I'm gonna make crispy Cajun salmon. So um, I thought about it from last week when we were talking about roux and how Cajun food, they always have the darkest roux. And so I was like, what better yet? I love salmon. I was craving salmon. So I was like, I'm gonna make my crispy Cajun salmon. So when you're cooking meat or seafood, you don't need a whole lot of ingredients to make it taste good. With Cajun, you know, it's very heavy on the spice, which I love. But just in general, if you don't have a whole lot, as long as you have salt and you have even pepper, but mostly salt, that's really all you need. So, like I said, there's just that one simple ingredient, and that's salt. It helps bring out those natural flavors and the juiciness in the meat. And when it's used as a base or it's added to other seasonings, it helps blend and enhance that flavor profile. And sugar does the exact same thing. So it's one of the reasons why sugar, generally brown sugar, is the main ingredient in smoked meats. One of the main ingredients, because sugar helps balance out salty foods, just as salt helps it doesn't maybe necessarily just balance out sweeter foods, but salt to sweet makes it sweeter. So that's why sometimes if you add a little bit of salt to like grapefruit or to watermelon, it brings out that nice sweet flavor that you want. My favorite way of actually, if I'm talking about this now with sweet and salty, I love watermelon with some Maldon salt, which is like really, it's like a coarse salt flake. I like putting a little bit of Maldon salt with some aged balsamic vinegar. It's really awesome. Anyways, so sugar helps balance out salty foods, and then salt helps make sweeter foods sweeter. So with salt, it can also dial down the taste of bitter foods. And so what salt does is it denatures the tight structure of the proteins. And that's what helps make that flavor pop in your mouth, and the aroma, you know, like barbecue and steak or Cajun food, it helps magnifying that aroma. It releases those aromatic molecules from the food into the air and stimulating your olfactory. So when cooking any sort of meat or seafood, steak or filet, there are two options available to you. You can either brine in like a salt water mixture, or simply just lay the salt on it by itself. So when you use a brine, for instance, it permeates that cell wall and it kickstarts the process of osmosis. So the meat's cells have a lower concentration of salt than the brine. So as the water rushes out of the cells and the salt flows in, the additional salt eventually tips the scales so that the water gushes back in to dilute it. So when you coat the steak, or in the case of now, we're going to do a salmon fillet in salt, it brings out that moisture, and it locks it in so that way it cooks it, or it cooks the moisture in, keeping it nice and tender. But if you put salt on the steak or on the fillet too soon, then it draws out too much of that moisture and leaving you with a drier product. So that's not what we want. So I always season, if I plan to put it directly on it, I usually just do it within a few minutes before I cook, and it builds this nice little crust also. So unless I use a brine or a marinade. And the great thing too is that you can brine, because salmon in general, but just fish, because it's so light, generally you can brine a good salmon fillet in like 15 minutes. You don't need a whole lot of time. Where with meat, like red meat, you'd brine it for a little bit longer. Since I'm making Cajun crispy salmon, I'm gonna put the salt on top of the steak, on top of the fillet, and then I'm gonna coat it in butter and oil. So let's head on over. So I currently have the salmon kind of going a little bit, but to kind of give you an overview, at first what I did is I had the pan heating for about 4 to 5 minutes on a low temperature. Since seafood cooks really fast, we want to make sure that it doesn't overcook, and that it doesn't dry it out. And And so also specifically, since we're making crispy salmon, cooking it at a lower temperature is going to make sure that we're going to get that crust that we're looking for, that crust, that crunch. And so yes, so it's going to make sure it does that. We're not going to have a whole lot of moisture seeping out. As you can see, you have a little bit. It's really not a whole lot. And so I put the butter oil mixture inside the pan, let it heat up. Then I took a brush and I coated the salmon with the butter and oil mixture. And then I added salt because I wanted to make sure I put salt first. Then my seasonings, my Cajun seasoning with a little bit of brown sugar, because again, that sweetness will help bring out the boldness and the flavor. And then I just added a little bit more salt. So I have it going. It's going to be about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. I have it starting at 3 minutes just to kind of test it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it. Once my timer goes off in a minute, I'm going to flip it. And then depending on the crust that forms on the back side will tell me if I need to add more time or cook it at the same time frame. So I always like making my salmon, or I use my fish spatula. Right now I'm using my silicone one since I have a nonstick pan. And this just makes sure, with the ridges, it just makes sure that it picks it up ever so neatly. Because fish is so delicate, this will just help make sure that I pick it up without causing a whole lot of damage to the meat. So. And the good thing is, I don't know if you can see, but there's a few little lines in here. And what that means is that the salmon, it doesn't need a whole lot of time. It's gonna be locking in that moisture. As you can see, all the moisture right here. There goes my timer. So I'm ever gonna, so gently. You wanna make sure that, ooh yeah, that looks good. So I need a little bit more time. I'm gonna do it at 4 minutes. Because it's not quite, it's got the color, but it does not have that crispiness that I'm looking for, which is okay. We are gonna get that crispiness. A lot of times what that also means is that there could be too much oil or too much butter like I used in the pan. So it's good to make these little tiny mistakes to kind of help show y'all. Honestly, I like making mistakes. It really teaches me a lot because no matter what I know, how much I know, we're always gonna make mistakes. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. That's how you become an expert. You make these mistakes. So I'm just gonna leave it. The great thing about when you're trying to crisp something, fry it per se, you want to leave it alone. Don't agitate it. It's the same thing with bacon. If you really don't agitate it, just let it be, and it'll get that crispiness that you're looking for. So let's flip it and see. Oh yeah. Nice Maillard reaction. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pick it up. We have some cheesy grits, and boom, 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 crispy Cajun salmon. Enjoy.